amazing speaker, firecracker, Wendy Barr, coming up next. She is next. And a little bit about Wendy. Wendy, I love your energy, by the way. And I love that you're calling people forth to be visible, get on camera, lights, camera, action, y'all. Y'all are entrepreneurs. Like, why are you not showing up on camera? Like, come on now. Come on now. How are you showing up in life? You know what I'm saying? So I love that you're chiming in and engaging there with everyone. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing.
When you're presenting, it really helps to have, instead of just little pictures of people, but like actual animated humans in the audience on Zoom.
Right. Yeah, I totally hear you. Totally hear you. I share a little bit about Wendy, and then I'm also curious about how your happy anniversary, by the way. Welcome back from
Thank you.
You went, where did you go? First of all, where did you go?
We went to Belize, and I still have sand between my toes.
So good. Happy anniversary. How many years?
Thank you. 11.
11. So good. So good.
It's my longest relationship so far.
Oh my goodness. So good. Are you jet lagged?
No, actually, it's just one. Central America is only 1 hour ahead of California. So yeah, it's just, it wasn't really that bad at all. It was so easy.
So good, so good. So Wendy is a business visionary. She has over 20 years of experience in branding and marketing. Like I said, she's a firecracker. Her passion lies in helping businesses leverage the power of AI to establish a unique and authentic brand that aligns with their values and connects emotionally. I'm going to emphasize emotionally because a lot of people miss that, with their ideal client. And yes, and Wendy has a master's degree. I have a master's degree as well, so I feel you there. She has a master's degree in branding and design, and extensive experience teaching at the college level. She teaches branding and marketing at the college level. Wendy is a rock star. She has appeared in brands like MTV, Allure Magazine, Jive Records, Rockefeller Center. You're a complete rock star and amazing. So welcome, Wendy, to the virtual stage. Yeah,
thank you, Zena.
And Wendy, you have, I'm excited about what you're going to be covering today, because you're going to be covering how to make your AI impact in 7 seconds or less. Great.
Yes.
So excited to hear about that. So let's jump right in.
And I think it will reinforce everything we heard from Larry and what we heard from Sarah. Maybe shift the context just a little bit, but reinforce certainly everything that they shared. So thank you so much for having me. I do have a presentation. I am, let's see, I'm going to see if I can, if it's okay with you, if I share. Okay, we're going to share over there. Okay, you see my clean desktop, don't you? Isn't it lovely?
Love the folders.
Aren't they so organized? Basically, it's like desktop and everything that was on it. Yeah, from all the way back to like February. So I have no idea I don't know what's in those folders. So, okay, let me go into presentation mode. And great, can you see 3 tips? And awesome. Well, I am absolutely thrilled to be here, and expertise to entrepreneur is such an amazing concept, Zena. And just so that you guys know, I just met Zena myself. So I'm pretty excited to, like have our first date after all this, because I want to get to know her better. But what I've been seeing is a really incredible group of humans here. Every single one of you is unique and gifted. And guess what else? Keeping a secret. It's a secret you are actually born to share. I have secrets too. There are secrets about who I am, really. I mean, I'm bossy and controlling, but also silly and creative. I can be passive aggressive, but I'm also detail oriented and hardworking. And my secret sassy superpower is that I have this unique ability to understand how things work, and I can offer my clients unique solutions to their complex business and marketing problems. But the truth is, some people say I'm an acquired taste. Some people love me, but some people do not. My husband always says, everybody loves Wendy. And I'm like, no, honey, I'm an acquired taste, not everybody. So you're either going to love me or you're not. And that is indicative of almost any brand or business that you come in contact with, right?
So
But
true.
you have a secret too, something inside of you that you want the world to know, something so intrinsic, you're not even sure where it came from. And that's your brand right there. That is your brand. And while, yes, logos and colors and concepts and layouts are important, if you don't know who you are authentically on the inside, you can't connect with those that need you the most. So we're going to be talking a lot about branding today, clearly. And, you know, I got to follow Sarah. That's kind of a tough act to follow. But I want you to ask yourself this question. What is one thing about you that's amazing, that's incredible? And one thing about you that some people say is somewhat challenging. You can share in the chat or just write it down. It depends on uh, how how comfortable you are at being exposed. So let's dive in. I want to know how many of you here are using AI. Go ahead and let me know. You can let me know in the chat. Of course, Larry. We already know Larry's using AI. And Valerie, thank you. Well, listen, guess what? That was a trick question because the truth is we are all using AI and we have been, whether knowingly or unknowingly, because it's folded into so many of our apps and devices. But here's the thing. It's awesome, right? Because you can create so much content, brilliant content. You can increase your visibility. You can get further faster. You can write a book, right, Larry? But if you don't listen to anything else I say today, hear this. If you are creating AI-generated content, you need to make sure that your AI assistant knows who you are as a brand and understands your secret. That secret that's inside of you, your brilliant, authentic self, your brand. So today, I want to help you tap into that bright, shiny brilliance. How does that sound? Let's do
Amazing.
it.
Let's do it.
Well, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Wendy Barr, and as Zena mentioned, I am the CEO and founder of Intelligent Brands and the Women's Business Link, and I have been doing this a long time. Yes, I owned a successful marketing and promotions business for like 12 years where I worked with brands like MTV and RCA Records, and I help them with their business and their branding strategies. And the funny thing is, I also did promotional products like hats, t-shirts, mugs, pens. And if you know MTV back in the day or any of these companies, they did slews of hats and t-shirts and mugs and pens, right? Millions. But they never ordered that from me, just so you know. What they bought from me was creative thinking every time. They came to me and they said, Wendy, we want to send a gift to all the advertisers to help them survive the advertising season, for example. What do you suggest? Now, if I said a pen with their logo on it, you know what they'd say? Yeah, next. So like for MTV once, we created a holistic first aid kit. I had these wooden crates made by this woman-owned crate company. We put in a feng shui guide and a crystal and lavender bath salts, and everything was branded with their logo on it. And they were sent to all of the advertisers to help them survive the advertising season. And my goal was to take all of this experience and education and information and help small business owners, right? Help entrepreneurs become successful. Yes, I'm married to my very best friend for 11 years. That's our cute 15-year-old dog, Marley. And yeah, I live for them. I believe in diversity, equality, freedom of speech. I love technology, puzzles, art, rock and roll, dogs, travel, the beach, and comedy. I love comedy. I was raised by entrepreneurs. My grandfather owned a pawn shop, and my mom owned a record store and also a head shop. And if you're too young to know what that term means, well, it was a shop where you bought your paraphernalia with which to smoke your weed. Thanks, Mom. I was like 12 teaching people how to use bongs. I literally came out of the womb as an entrepreneur. Yes, I'm a leftover hippie. I know a few people are logging off. Don't go. I've always loved change and innovation. I've been using AI within my business for several years now and experimenting with all the ways that small business owners and entrepreneurs can use AI to get further faster. And the short answer is, do you guys know what I'm going to say? Branding. Branding. Because if you don't understand your brand, you can't prompt your AI assistant to speak in your brand voice. So let's start with the basics, right? What is branding? We've talked a lot about it. We've been throwing the term around, but what is it? Well, branding is a perception. It lives and breathes in the mind of your public. So whatever people are thinking and saying about your brand, well, guess what? That is your brand. And that perception is owned by the public, not by businesses. You don't own your own brand perception because it's what they're thinking and what they're saying. Branding is the persona of a company. It's a mechanism used to tap into your unique distinctions. And at the end of the day, branding is just about being remembered, right? Being relatable, about building a fan base. It can attract your ideal client like a magnet. It's not the same as marketing because branding is a pull tactic. Marketing is a push tactic. It pushes for an end result. It's different. Listen, things have changed, right? In 2023, from major corporations to junior high students to little old entrepreneurs like us, we came face to face with generative AI, and it became accessible to everyone. And AI is having a big impact on business and on the job market. Many people are concerned that AI will replace humans and take our jobs. Well, yeah, that's true. And false. Actually, humans will be replaced by humans that master and embrace the use of AI because AI cannot replace human creativity and innovation. So I talk to business owners every single day, and they ask me a lot of really cool questions. Like, is it okay to share my proprietary info with my AI assistant? And can it save me money? And will it make me more money? And is it a trend? Is it even worth investing my time? And my favorite question is, how do I make it sound like me? Right? How do I make it sound like me? So today I want to share 3 action steps with you guys so that you know what to do to take action now to create AI-generated content that connects emotionally with your ideal client. And not just your ideal client, your dream client, right? So I'm going to keep going, but I want you to think right now about a client, one client that you've had in the past that you worked with, that you loved working with. This is somebody that totally got you, right? Like that just understood that value that you brought to the table. Start thinking about that human. And the best part is that with AI, you don't need a huge marketing team to make it happen. You just need one well-informed AI assistant. Doesn't that sound helpful? I mean, if you're going to build a business, let's get it going. Yes, generative AI is awesome. And forward-thinking business owners are thrilled because they see it as a way to get some of their time back, and rightfully so. They're experimenting, right, by generating AI content, a lot of content, so much content. But they noticed quickly that it started feeling canned and bland and boring and just like everybody else's content. So they started learning how to prompt. And they started saying things like, write this in the voice of Oprah Winfrey or Tony Robbins or Matthew McConaughey, right? And that was fun. But do you see a problem with that? Yeah, me too. Because if you're not Oprah or Tony or Matthew, the content you're generating is not speaking from your own unique brand voice. Now that's a problem. So today I'm going to show you how to develop a brand voice that speaks to who you are on the inside, how to connect with your dream client on an emotional level, and how to access your super sassy secret inner unicorn. And to document your work along the way, I've created a guide for you, 3 tips to amplify your AI brand, and I'll share that with you as well. It includes an entire prompt guide, so you guys are going to be loaded up after this summit. So how does that sound? All right.
Amazing.
Fantastic, and thank you for the unicorn.
I
I
love
do love
unicorns.
unicorns. So before you can truly take your AI out for a spin, you have to teach her who you are as a brand. I think it's a female, but that's just me. I don't know. Maybe Larry's AI assistant isn't a female. I'm not sure. So yes, you're going to need to make some important decisions regarding your brand voice and tone, right? That has been mentioned a lot today. So there's a recipe, right? So you take your distinct personality, right? This is your secret. This is what we're trying to tap into. You add in your love language. These are words and phrases that you say often in conversation. They might be, like Sarah might be saying, how are you today? You feeling in the pink today? Right? Like, she just gave me a look like corny. Of course it is. I'm corny. It's my super sassy secret. And then you add in your tone of voice. Now, this is like, it's not what you say, but how you say it. So tone is the delivery. Do you remember when you were a kid and you noticed like when your mom's tone of voice changed, right? That maybe you were in trouble. Like I remember this one time my mom said, hi, honey, how was school today? And I said, oh, it was great. Same old, same old. And she said, Wendy, I asked you, how was school today? And I said, oh, tone of voice changed. I didn't go to school today, Mom. I was at the mall. Yup. So that's your tone of voice. And that's the best way I can describe it because people get confused between your brand voice and your brand tone. So you'll need to share these details with your AI or your human assistant. Treat it like a friendship that you're building. Like Larry said in your custom instructions, be human when you're developing your custom instructions. What would you share with a new friend to help them get to know you? You're different, right? Your brand voice is different. I get that, but it doesn't even matter if I get it, right? What matters is that your voice and your tone resonate with your ideal client. So I guess you're going to need to know who your audience is, right? We've been talking a little bit about that today. So that leads us into tip number 2, your ideal client. Knowing and understanding your dream client goes way beyond demographics. And if you have a person in mind, that dream client of yours, pop their first name in the chat. Give them a fake name if it's Zena, because that's obvious, right? Pop that in the chat, that ideal client, that one that got you, the first one that made you go, God, I'm really good at this. That's right. Clinton said Avatar, Disney, Vincent, fabulous, fabulous. I love it. Keep in mind that your ideal client is on a journey and it's your job to understand them on a deeper level. What are their goals and their deepest desires? What do they wish for? And how do their goals and their deepest desires align with you and your value system? What are their challenges and their fears? What does failure look like to them? Because if you don't understand what failure looks like to them, you won't know how to help them get there. And then what are the emotional repercussions to either getting or not getting their problem solved? Don't assume that you understand their struggles until you actually do. You have to ask your ideal client the right questions to get to the root of what they're looking for. Just because you think this widget is so handy for them, you have to explain to them how it's going to make their life better. And guess what? If we take some time on the front end to do this busy work that we've been talking about, that Larry talked about, and Sarah talked about, and Wendy is talking about, and we develop a persona of our ideal client, your AI assistant, ChatGPT, can take that and run with it. It improves the quality of your output tremendously. And that brings us to tip number 3. Yes, your super sassy secret inner unicorn. It's in there. There's something about you, right? Think about your associations with some of your best friends, some clients that you worked with, the ones that got you, your favorite teacher. It doesn't matter. Tap into who you are on the inside and make sure that all the while, as you're developing your brand voice over here and identifying your dream client over here and building your programs, products, and services, that you're focusing on your own uniqueness. Don't be like anyone else. Just be you. You can't say the wrong thing to the right people. And guess what else? You cannot say the right thing to the wrong people. No matter what you say, they're not going to get you. So what makes you and your business unique? Are you authentically you in your marketing? Are you relevant? Right? Or are you just selling that widget you think they need, but you haven't done any market research and you have no idea if that's actually what they would want to buy? Does your brand evoke emotion and connection? Go deep here. So what is it that you do differently? Why would a consumer, and Sarah talked a little bit about this, why would a consumer choose your business over your competitors? Is your brand memorable? Think about Dove soap, right? Dove's brand voice is empowering, it's uplifting, it appeals to the natural beauty of women, focusing on the emotional side of the brand. And Poopery is brilliant at subtly pointing out the fact that, yes, indeed, women poop. Even fancy, elegant British women. Yep, they poop. They do, Larry. It's brilliant marketing. It's brilliant. So go deep here. Really ask yourself, like, what is it about you that people say, like, what is it that your mom says about you? Like, my mom used to think that I was so funny. She wanted me to do stand-up comedy. So she would call the local comedy place for the improv night and she would sign me up. And then she would say, Wendy, you're all signed up for Friday night doing improv. And I'm like, Mom, I'm so not doing that. And she'd say, why not? You're so funny. I'm like, yes, I'm funny for you, Mom. Just for you, because I'm comfortable here. I'm not getting on stage and doing improv. I'm not going to do it. So, like, what is it that somebody noticed about you that maybe you haven't quite connected with yet? Whew. Now, I get it. That was a whole lot of info, and I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, how do I take all this valuable information and turn it into lasting transformation for my business, for me? And that's exactly how I felt when I was starting down this path. How does this apply to me? As a matter of fact, feel free to drop any questions that you might have into the chat so that when I get to the end, I'll come back and answer any questions that you have. So like while they're in your mind, drop them in the chat. Listen, we can't put the AI genie back in the bottle. She is out there and she is soaring at great speeds with or without you. So you have to take action now. Just experiment. Like if you're an established business, like what some of those redundant tasks are that you and your assistants do all day, every day for you, right? Pick one redundant task and do a little case study for your business. And if you're a newbie, which I know a lot of people are here because we're trying to learn how to take our expertise and turn it into entrepreneurship. So if you're a newbie, that's okay too, right? Start playing around with it. You might be surprised because if you don't show up with that human element and the ability for the audience to connect with you emotionally, you will not be able to survive, because a logo or AI generated content without the brand voice and personality to make it feel human and approachable, well, it's like a gorgeous outfit on a mannequin, right? There is nothing underneath the decor to substantiate the brand, and therefore the conversation will just fall flat. And I know that you're busy. Some people are working 2 jobs and doing this side hustle, right? You already have so much on your plate. Now, I know I'm asking you to learn something completely new, but have fun with it. ChatGPT has an app. You can have it on your phone. You're sitting, you're bored at the doctor's office, you can start playing around. Like, I think when I was in New York, I asked ChatGPT to chart a course for me. I said, this is where my hotel is. Chart a course for me of all the thrift clothing stores in a 10-mile radius that I can walk to. I know, maybe not 10, that's kind of far. 1-mile radius. And ChatGPT said, yes, first hit this one, and then hit this one, and then you're going to go to this one. You can stop and have lunch at right here because you'll be near this place, which is a really great place. And then you can go to these thrift stores, right? So it doesn't have to be about your business. You just have to get started. And don't worry, I got you. I got you. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. You know, I have a women's networking organization. Whatever you need, reach out to me. I'm very responsive. I will respond to you. And as a bonus, I want you to be able to document your progress, right? Work at your own pace. So I created a guide, 3 tips to amplify your AI brand. You can scan the code, and I will also drop this. Should I drop this in the link in the chat?
Kelly will drop it as well. So yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Kelly's got it.
And if you're a VIP today, you can schedule your Profit Booster AI brand assessment call, and we'll chat. We'll talk about it. We'll figure out, you'll tap into my super secret, sassy, whatever power, my unicorn. So just remember that relevant, compelling branding that attracts and connects emotionally with your ideal client is a total game changer, and it will allow you the opportunity to impact the world. They're waiting for you. Just remember this last thing. There is no one like you in the world. Even if your business has competitors, even if your business concept has been developed by others, yours is unique. Nobody does what you do the same way you do it. No 2 business models are the same. Why? Because the super secret sassy unicorn is you. So let's look at some of these questions. Do I have time? Oh, it's 3 o'clock.
Yeah. Let's answer the questions for Alana, and I think Clint had a question as well. Yeah, Clinton.
So how can I get people to want to hear me speak on entrepreneurship? Well, you become the authority, right? So you start talking about entrepreneurship, and people make the mistake on social media of constantly doing the marketing thing instead of the branding thing, which is shoving information down people's throats. So ask questions, engage your audience, ask questions about entrepreneurship. You know, what do you struggle with entrepreneurship, or when did you decide that you wanted to be an entrepreneur? And you can even ask ChatGPT, what are the top 10 questions that people ask about entrepreneurship? And then you just start talking about that. Go live, for example, on Facebook and post an entrepreneurship tip, and maybe talk about your own challenges, because that makes you more human. So does that help, Clint? And let's see, Elena, I'm about to launch a marketing campaign as a voice actor. Is there an AI program that can help me with marketing to connect with my clients? Well, I think, again, you're going to have to tap into what they're looking for. If you're a voice actor, what are they going to be looking for in order to hire you? Right? Because whatever it is, whatever problem they're having. So are you going to teach voice actors, or are you a voice actor and you're looking for gigs?
Lana, if you want to comment in the chat, that'd be great. 'Cause I think she's a voice actor looking for gigs, is my sense. That's
Ah,
what a lot
so
of
yeah,
people are in that space. Usually they're wanting to get gigs, right? As a voice
is
actor.
that got it? So yeah, so you would use ChatGPT to say, what are I'm looking to get hired as a voice actor. What would I what are the top things that hiring agents are looking for? And then you start going on social media and become the thought leader in voice acting. You become the sought after voice actor, and you start talking about voice conceptually, abstractly, physically. And the more you do that, and then every once in a while you post one of those posts that's like, hey, you want to hire me as a voice actor? Here's my link. But not all the time. Most of the time you're becoming the expert.
Yeah. And it's really what you're saying is offering value, leading with value, always leading with value, always leading with
Yes,
your knowledge, leading with your generosity. That goes to you, Clinton, and to you, Alana, everyone, right? Like you offer content value, and then you give people a CTA, a call to action, which is
right.
like let's work together type of thing, right? So good. Sean,
Yes, show
yeah,
off your expertise.
yeah, show off your expertise 100%. Sean has a question. He said, how would you build out a marketing plan for a new real estate agent or team? It's a good question.
Well, okay, that is a great question, and Larry's going to love my answer. So, if this is something that you're really trying to create, then the first thing you have to do is build your brand. Who is this real estate agent team as a brand? Then you populate your custom instructions with your brand voice, the services that you offer, who your ideal client is, and then your tone of voice, like who is it? How do you want to be playful? Do you want to be casual? Do you want to be professional? Then you populate your custom instructions then, and only then can you start prompting effectively. Now you can go in and prompt and say, build out a marketing plan based on the information. Usually I try to remind her. Sometimes I'll say, based on the information I shared with you in my custom instructions, I'd like for you to build out a marketing plan for a new real estate agent team. Okay, and then tell her exactly what you're looking for. Are you looking for strategy, what to post on social media, what kind of language to send in an email campaign, etc. And you could even really hone it down. Sometimes I'll say something like, I need, please write please write 3 value posts, a series of 5 emails, and 10 one-liners for social media. So like if you're really specific, you're going to actually get what you asked for. And think about it this way. Pretend you're talking to a human. Because if you said to a human, I'm trying to build me out a marketing plan for a new real estate agent team. They wouldn't know. And then they gave it to you and you'd go, well, where's the social media post? But I thought I was going to get an email sequence, but hang on, there's no one-liners, but what should I post on Twitter? Then they're going to say, well, why didn't you tell me that? If you would have been specific, I would have given you all those things. So start with the specifics. Well, start with the custom instructions, then make sure to add the specifics.
Yeah, so good. So good. I love it. Thank you, team, for your engagement. Thank you, Wendy, for staying a little extra,
Yes,
answering these
of
questions.
course.
So good.
My pleasure.